We enrolled and contracted on about 1.2 million acres in 2024, which is amazing. That's our biggest year yet.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of the State of Soy. I'm Michaela Jordan, coming to you from Ankeny, where we're meeting with Adam Keel, Managing Director of the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund. And we're talking about the changes to the SWAF program and what the next year will look like. Adam, why don't we start by just going through what is the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund?
So the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund helps farmers implement conservation practices in their farm. And for doing so, they get a financial incentives that helps them transition to whatever that new practice may be, cover crops, reduce tillage, some other change in a crop rotation. So we help facilitate that. And our funding comes from a mix of private and public partners that we work with across the country to help support those farmers in that transition.
Before we dive into this program year, give us some of the highlights of this past year and what SWAF, or the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund, has been up to.
Yeah, so right now we're transitioning from wrapping up our 2024 contract year, and those farmers completed those practices this past spring. And we did all of that verification, and farmers have been paid for that work. In total, we enrolled and contracted on about 1.2 million acres in 2024, which is amazing. That's our biggest year yet. We saw the most farmers participate, and on average, farmers were paid about $33 an acre, which is great. Now we're transitioning to 2025. Our re-enrollment process is underway, working with those farmers who've worked with us in the past. Through the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund, we want to maintain those farms in the program. So we're working on the re-enrollment process right now with those farmers. Later in the year, we'll open up enrollment opportunities to new farmers, but right now we're just working with farmers that have been with us for a year or longer and getting those farmers re-enrolled.
It's kind of been a hot topic right now with the shifting in priorities through the USDA. How has that impacted SWAF, and how will it impact this future program year?
Yeah, so a big partner of ours has been the USDA. They've changed some priorities on their end, so we've had to adjust how we work with them and how we work with farmers as well. The good part about this is a lot of our private sector partners have stepped up in the absence of USDA and picked up that gap that has been given to us by USDA's change in priorities. So we're working on expanding our partnerships with our private sector to continue the good work that we've started with USDA in the past. We're still working with USDA in some capacity, and hopefully that can continue and grow, but time will tell what that will look like.
Partnerships are crucial to the success of implementing conservation, especially when it comes to the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund. And there are some partnerships between the Iowa Soybean Association and SWAF. What is that connection between those two organizations?
Yeah, great question. So the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund is operated by a subsidiary of the Iowa Soybean Association. So we have the same board members, which is rather unique in the space that the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund works. A lot of our competitors are not owned or managed by farmers, which I think is very important when you're working with farmers to kind of understand where they're coming from. So that's the connection between the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund. Also, a lot of our work occurs in Iowa, and the Iowa Soybean Association helps us recruit farmers, promote the opportunities like what we're doing here today to Iowa farmers. So those are a couple examples of how the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund is linked to the Iowa Soybean Association.
You mentioned the important role that farmers play through the Iowa Soybean Association Board of Directors, but just farmers in general, what would you like them to know about the Soil and Water Outcomes Fund?
There's a lot of opportunities for sustainability these days, and there's a lot of programs that may not be a good fit for farmers. Every farmer's in their own unique situation, so I just urge them to look at all the opportunities that are out there. Farmers can go to our website and learn more about what we do, theoutcomesfund.com, and potentially sign our wait list if they're interested. We continue to evolve in sustainability like everyone else in the space that we work. Very minor changes in the way our program operates. Still a one-year contract that we have with farmers. Payment rates are largely the same. Data expectations are similar, a few additional tweaks here and there, but we really pride ourselves on that one-year contract, helping farmers through that transition with the financial incentives, and that aspect of our program remains intact.
As farmers are looking to possibly get involved, learn more about the program, where can they go or who should they contact?
So we have a team of field reps across the country. You can reach out to us by going to our website, theoutcomesfund.com. You'll be contacted by one of those field reps, and they can answer any questions that you might have about the program.
The Soil and Water Outcomes Fund is an offshoot of the Iowa Soybean Association and is proud to help farmers make conservation a reality and ensure that they're receiving cost-share opportunities and payments for those practices that are helping make our world more sustainable. Reporting for this edition of The State of Soy, I'm Michaela Jordan.
Do you remember when you first believed that anything was possible? Do you remember when you had doubt, obstacles you couldn't overcome? Do you remember when you pushed through the pain and refused to quit? Remember, He created you for this.